What's up guys, today we have the review of the hottest party of the summer. Let's go. Okay, so we kicked off with Logan Paul and Ricochet, and I have to say, this was a really good match. My only critique about this match was that I wish the ring announcer Samantha Irvins said Logan Paul's name with a bit of anger or just a different tone. I think it would have made it feel like a bigger deal, but at the same time, some fans might not understand why she did that, so I get why they didn't do it. But overall, it was a great match. We had a lot of high flying spots, Logan hitting his usual running power slam, even Prime made an appearance, and I really like the fact that they used the Spanish Fly, because as we know, that was the move that nearly took out both competitors at Money in the Bank. Another thing I liked was Logan channeling his inner Hulkamania and hitting his version of a leg drop to get some heel heat, with Ricochet firing back with his spinebuster and patented people's movesault, and there were shooting star presses, frog splashes from the apron. It was like I was in a car, no pun intended, but it did end when Ricochet went for the 630, he missed, and someone, I think part of Logan's entourage, gave the Pole some brass knuckles. He took out the one and only, and the Maverick picked up the victory. He even talked to Samantha after the match, which was a nice touch. I actually didn't think Logan would win this match, but when you consider he hasn't won a match since that SummerSlam last year, it was cool to see him pick up a dub 1 year later. Plus, with him going to Jake Paul's fight later on in the day, it made sense for him to win, so that he can carry that attention over to the boxing ring. Next up, we had the trilogy, Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes, and this was a hard-hitting bout, with Lesnar dominating the majority of this match. Suplex after suplex, not only did we get an F5 on the floor, but we got one through the announce table, and Cody was able to make it back to the ring not once, but twice. The Nightmare also hit Lesnar with the steel steps, which I was a bit confused about, I can't lie. I really like the story they told of Cody taking shot after shot from Lesnar, but still fighting back, even after everything he suffered from the Beast. There was a really cool spot where they both even traded Kimuras. You don't see that often. But after Cody got enough of his MP like in Zelda, he hit not one, but 2 Cody cutters, and after a trifecta of Crossroads, the American Nightmare did it. He beat Lesnar clean as a whistle, kind of. And we need to talk about that ending, because after a hellacious matchup, Lesnar stood toe to toe with Cody, and not only did he shake his hand, but he raised it all for 50,000 fans in attendance. That was a really cool moment, as I can't remember the last time I actually did that, but it was pretty cool to get an endorsement from the Beast Incarnate. And as for what Cody goes to next, the road is unclear, pun intended. The next bout was a Slim Jim SummerSlam Battle Royale, and what a name that is. We had competitors like Rick Boogs, Grayson Waller, AJ Styles, and of course LA Knight, and the pop he received was monstrous. And speaking of monstrous, we got a return of the Nigerian giant, Omos. Now that was unexpected, and it was cool to see the 7-footer back in the ring, taking out people like Jordan Devlin and Apollo Crews, even if he got chopped 30 times by the other competitors, but I'm glad he got eliminated early on, just because it doesn't feel as predictable with LA Knight taking out Omos to win. Instead, what we got was a lot of action, with Santos Escobar eliminating Austin Theory, Karrion Kross eliminating AJ Styles in the never-ending feud of 2023, and we even got Grayson Waller and The Miz hitting a dual finisher, which I'm not mad at. I actually really like the idea of those two, but in the end, it was down to Sheamus and LA Knight, and they really went for it. We got power slams, elbows, even a attempt to Celtic Cross, but in the end, you just knew it was the megastar's time, as he threw Sheamus over the top rope and picked up the victory. I really hope that going forward, LA Knight gets something, whether it's a championship, or a Royal Rumble win, or even winning a War Games Survivor Series match, because he really does deserve it. The first thing was matched on the card was Ronda Rousey taking on Shayna Baszler in an MMA style matchup. And even though they did a good job of making it look convincing by having Ronda sell a head kick and locking in various submissions like the leg lock and the armbar, unfortunately the crowd just wasn't with this one, as they booed heavily throughout the matchup, but I give credit to them for trying something new, and they actually did something which I didn't expect, and that is Shayna Baszler submitting Ronda Rousey via pass out. And I'm very happy with this, as it's a big win on a big stage for the Queen of Spades. Gunther vs Drew McIntyre for the Intercontinental Championship was next, and as Simon Miller would say, it's big boy slapping man meat, and boy, was it intense. We had German suplexes, power bombs, chops. Of course, it is a Gunther match. We even got a Claymore near fall, which actually got me. But after a series of maneuvers by the Austrian, it was good night Irene, as Gunther retained his Intercontinental Championship. I'm pretty happy with this result, as I don't think dropping it to McIntyre would have helped, as he's around a month away from breaking the Honky Tonk Man's record. And for Drew, maybe he could go heel. I wouldn't be against that. The rematch 7 years in the making was up next as Finn Balor takes on Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. And this was a fantastic match. The little things, from Seth wearing his 2016 SummerSlam ring gear to Finn having the number 7 on his chest, the mind games were there, especially when it came to the in-ring action, with Finn powerbombing Seth against the barricade just like Seth did all those years ago. Not to mention, there was a coup de grace near falls, curb stomp near falls, and there was the added intrigue of the Judgment Day, as Damien and Finn got into several squabbles in the bout, which led to Finn delivering a pedigree for again another near fall. But to seal the deal, it was a curb stomp onto the briefcase, which gave Seth the victory. Now, I did predict that Finn was going to win, and the only reason I'm okay with Finn not winning is because it protects Balor by having the move being performed on an inanimate object, and it was also because of the bickering between Finn and Damien. We'll have to see where this one goes, but I just pray that the Judgment Day don't break up, or they replace a member with another, like Damien for Jordan Devlin, or Balor for Devlin. We'll have to see, but overall, it was a great matchup. The co-main event was next, and it was defending champion Asuka taking on the EST Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair, and this was a great match. I think this might have been the longest women's match on a premium live event, so congrats to all three ladies. And yeah, there was so much in this match, from double movesaults to a double natural selection, and at one point, Flair had the figure 8 locked in, and Bianca broke it up with a 450 splash. It was insane, especially since Bianca was seen to have an injured knee in the bout, which fair play, because she convinced everyone. But after a figure 8 by the Queen on the EST, Asuka broke it up by using the mist, which blinded Charlotte, which allowed Bianca to roll her up and become your new Women's Champion. However, the reign was short-lived, as Io Sky alongside Bayley cashed in her Money in the Bank contract, and even though Bianca fought back, a briefcase shot to the knee and a moonsault from the sky, and Io Sky became your new WWE Women's Champion. And this was a really nice moment for her and the whole of Damage Control, as Dakota Kai celebrated with her teammates. And for Bianca, I think she will get that title back. When? I have no idea, but I'm looking forward to the journey, and I actually think Charlotte versus Bianca would be a great matchup. Finally, it's the main event of the evening, as main event Jey Uso takes on the head of the table, Roman Reigns. And okay, let's get into it. This match was a war. We had kendo stick shots, an awesome Samoan drop through the table, and I really liked the little nuances they had in this match. The strap used by Jey as payback for what Roman did to him at Hell in a Cell. Jey taking out Solo like Solo did to him a few weeks ago. And even though Roman and Solo had the upper hand, after a miscommunication, Roman speared Solo and Jey speared Roman for a 2 count. And I really like that they teased Solo vs Roman, because that is the matchup I would really like to see. But let's talk about the finish. Because as it seemed that Jey was going to finally dethrone the tribal chief, a hooded figure pulled him out from under the ring. It was revealed to be none other than Repo Man. I'm kidding. It was revealed to be none other than Jimmy Uso, super kicking his brother into oblivion, which allowed Roman to retain his title. Now, there's a lot of mixed opinions on this. Some people hate it and feel like it's a plot twist for the sake of a plot twist. Others like it and see that it's been obvious for months, because Roman said himself that Jimmy was holding Jey back, and Jimmy never said no to Roman's claims. And well, I'm in the middle. I don't mind them doing a brother versus brother feud if ultimately they end up reuniting with one another. Or it ends up being a ruse and we end up with some fatal 4-way bloodline matchup. That would be epic. But yeah guys, that has been my review of SummerSlam 2023. Overall, it was an enjoyable show, and it was nice to see some feuds come to their conclusion and to see some new stories begin. But what did you think of the hottest party of the summer? Let me know in the comments below, and take care.